Well, well, here we are. I want to congratulate you for being on time.
No drinking drinks in the hall. No eating food in the hall. No food in the hall. No entering school past the only rooms in the hall. No looking at other people's lockers in the hall. No running in the hall. No stabbing people with pencils in the hall. No bullying in the hall. No stabbing in the hall. The question for you, you should know this. When will you learn? Your parents will not this one. 50 seconds. 30 seconds. 45 seconds. 60 seconds. 99 seconds. No drinking in the hall. No eating food in the hall. No escaping detection in the hall. No entering school past the only rooms in the hall. No looking at other people's lockers in the hall. No running in the hall. No stabbing people with pistols in the hall. No bullying in the hall.
Bender?
Crystal.
Good. Maybe you'll learn a little something about yourself.
Hey, good evening. It is Thursday, March 7th, 2024. You are watching Legit Paranormal 101 on legitpodcast.com. I am Sarah Parah Normal. If you're joining us from Legit Paranormal Clips, I'm sorry. That's all I can say. I apologize for the shenanigans of King Michael and Black Island Rick. We're going to try and take this show a little bit more seriously. So speaking of serious is here's King Michael. We going to be serious, Mike? We got our serious hat on.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course. So we're going to change it up a little bit on 101. We've added 2 more permanent hosts because they've just been so good on the show. So first up, coming over from Legit Paranormal Clips again is our friend Black Island Rick. Rick, how's it going?
Hey guys.
And we have the one and only, the beautiful Sarah G. Witch MD. Hi, Sarah.
Hello.
Hey Sarah.
I'm excited about this crew. So, it's going to be good, I think. Last week we were talking about preparing our energies to sort of go into an investigation. Sarah, did you have a chance to think about that at all? Is there anything you think that we missed last week, or do you think we covered preparing our energies pretty well?
I think we covered it. I think we absolutely did what we needed to do there. I think everybody, again, just to reiterate, we all have our own personal way of protecting our energy, especially when we go into an investigation. Rick, you may not do the same things that I do, but still it's effective. So I feel like we're all kind of on the same page there.
Sarah, I don't know if you got a chance to see any of clips. There was much silliness. There was much, maybe some silliness going on. But we did kind of touch on spirit communications. Mike, I can't even remember now. What was the question you were going to ask on clips?
The question I was going to ask is, why does it matter, or does it matter, about the equipment you use? Like, in other words, if I have just a tape recorder and a pen and a pad, why is that not as powerful as like these $400 Amazon like golf ball on a pea shooter type contraptions?
Okay, so what I'm hearing you say is, how come old school methods don't seem to be as popular? Because I wouldn't say they're not necessarily as powerful, but as popular as this like big new shiny technology. So Rick,
what I'm saying is, are you guys trying to get it recorded so that you can play it for somebody? Is that what I get seriously confused. Is it to hear what you hear and write it down and keep it almost to you and then tell somebody about it? Or is it really more in the recording of it?
I think,
well, that's 2 different things. So, one's recording and then one's trying to communicate. You can always record what you're doing with what, the tools you're using.
Yeah, but not a light show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, basically. So, like, you got a good point there, Mike. A lot of the shiny toys that we see were kind of created for paranormal reality television because they look more appealing on TV. But I mean, I would suggest any paranormal investigator to be recording with a camera or at least with a voice recorder for their whole investigation to go back and look at it later. HAK. So let's start with some maybe like before we get to the shiny tech. Is it cool with you guys if we maybe work our way up and start with some more basic stuff like pendulums and Ouija boards and tarot cards and things like that? Because these are all methods of spirit communication.
We're going to disagree on some of them.
Yeah, we will disagree on some of them, probably. We will disagree on some of them.
All right. Fire it up.
Let's fire it up. I'm just going to kind of go around. Actually, you know what, Mike, let's start with you because we've had conversations about pendulums and you've seen them used, correct?
Yep.
Can you give me your thoughts on using a pendulum as a means to communicate with spirit?
My apologies in advance.
Oh, no.
I know some great people, right, that can do great things. Mm-hmm. When it comes to the pendulum itself, I said it from day one, I got myself in trouble, and I'll say it today. The Italian in me and certain just knowledge of how your thoughts can look. I don't buy that one. That was a hard one to buy. It really is. Something about anything handheld that swings, it seems like I'm 2 seconds away from like a pinochle game where they hide the red ball and I keep losing all my money. What I'm saying is that's my hardest thing to buy because, again, maybe it's just the cynic in me, but I think anything that's handheld, I can't trust. There it is. Said it. That's why.
So anybody want to weigh in on that?
Sarah does.
I can see Sarah does. Sarah G, go for it.
So a pendulum, in essence, yes, it is handheld. But what you're not getting, and it's understandable because I see where your point is here. But a pendulum is an energetic, it's moving through you, right? So the energy is making it move. And you control it absolutely with how you handle it. Hold it like this, hold it like this, hold it, whatever you want to do. But that energy of what you're asking, is flowing through you. And usually with pendulums, we generally get a yes or a no answer unless we are using any sort of spirit board and not the spirit board that is recorded. You know how some of the electronic devices are called spirit boards. It's you kind of spill things out. So, i.e., like a Ouija board, right? So that energy is flowing through you in order to answer a question. And usually it's a yes or a no question. Okay. So, yeah, it's your hand, but you're not swinging it. Your hand is stable.
Okay, but wait a minute. Here's my question though. Now, sticking on the theory of its energy, which I agree.
Yes.
Okay. Now, if a guy asks a question like, I don't know, they ask some silly questions. I feel like the person holding the pendulum, whatever their immediate thought is on this person, or sometimes the ones I don't trust are the ones where this is what they would hope for this person, right? That in itself creates the energy to move a pendulum in the manner in which they want it to move. The person holding it only has to have a moment of being like, oh, this poor bastard. Like he wants to find a girl finally. It swings yes.
Right.
And it's just because there's the energy in you just wants this poor guy to get a yes.
Right. And that's true. We do sometimes as human beings sway, no pun intended, what that energy is going to do, right? But what we try to say is we try to keep an open mind when we do these things, i.e. in an investigation. That's the point. You're trying to keep an open mind to see what comes through, right? So it's sort of like using, and I'm going to show my age here. I mean, you can still buy them, but like they were really popular when I was growing up, and I'm sure for you guys as well. Magic 8 balls, right? So a magic 8 ball is going to give you an, sources say yes, right? And all it is, it's a little, dice thing that's inside floating
Mhm.
around, and gravity is what's changing that perspective, right? So if we look at that and we say the energy that we're using to hold it is giving us an answer, whether it's gravity, which is also a form of energy, or whether it's whatever you think it could be, an answer is an answer how you interpret it, right? So not your yes is not going to be my yes. Right? So if we're asking questions, then that's what we're looking for, an answer that energy is going to flow us.
Yeah,
Does
but I
that
think
make
we're looking
sense?
for a little bit better an answer than a random answer.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That'd be like flipping a coin, like heads being yes, tails being no. We
Mhm.
can flip
Right.
a coin and our energy is moving up, but it doesn't mean that that's paranormal or even the truth about anything.
No, but what I'm saying and I'm trying to answer Mike in the dumbest way that I possibly can. But
This is paranormal,
when
and I
we're
am dumb as well. So please slow it down for me, Sarah.
no, you're not. I'm just teasing you, Mike. I love you. So when we are going into a place that is, we are investigating, if it's full of spirit, if it's haunted, if it's whatever, we're asking if there's a spirit in the room to answer yes or no. Were you here in this time frame? Is your name this? And we can build upon that with what we call a spirit board, which then would give me the letter of your first name, and it goes to where the letter is. We can do it in that way, and we're asking the energy to flow through you in order to answer it. Right? Does that make sense?
It makes sense. And I think like we're getting back to Mike, like what we kind of talked about. I can't remember now if it was on the last show or the beginning of the show. It's like a preference, Rick was saying. I believe it was on clips of what people want to use. I personally don't prefer pendulums because, during the study of parapsychology, they talked about micro hand movements and how our hands, even though they appear to be still, are actually slightly moving all the time. And that can be possibly interfere with the pendulum. So for me, like I don't trust a pendulum. Like I don't personally use it. It's not my preferred tool. I don't know how to put this. Mike, would it make you feel better?
I love 8
If
balls.
we said
I
you
love
like
8 balls.
I know you were
love
waiting to
magic
say
8
that.
balls.
Okay.
I'll tell you why they
Okay.
God damn it, I've been holding in the whole time letting you guys talk because
I saw
I
you
know.
were gonna explode. He was gonna explode.
My thing is this, because they're so random and they're not 50-50, I trust a magic 8 ball a lot. Like, hear me out. There's like what, 6 different answers it can give you, right? That's good enough for me. 6 different results to all these absurd questions that I would ask an 8 ball. I trust in that shake and a random something coming up more so than I trust. I'm being honest. Look, I'm not saying I'm right. I should always start off with that. I'm not saying what I'm saying is right. I'm saying what I'm saying is how my brain works. That's just what I think. Like when I see things like that, there's something about, like, I'm like, man, it's gonna pull a trick on me. Something's gonna happen. So this is not right. Yeah. But when they do anything else, right? I believe. So I guess I am a hypocrite, right? I believe people telling me they talk to dead people all the time, but when I watch somebody hold a pendulum, I'm like, no. That's me.
Let's clarify a couple of things for viewers. First of all, and let's make sure we're all on the same page here. I just want to say, so we're going to assume that the people using these tools are not mediums or psychics. So they're not speaking with spirit, so they can't verify in that way. So for lay people that don't use those gifts, I think when we're talking about using any of these tools, what we have to understand is paranormal investigators will always do verification. So someone will have done the historical research, that type of thing. We use these tools. We don't tend to take them necessarily as hard evidence unless we're getting verification from some other source as well. Either several modes of communication line up to the same thing, an answer lines up with historical research. Rick, you're big on history, right?
Yeah.
So when you're investigating, I'm sure you do that sort of verification process.
Close.
And you wouldn't want to trust things necessarily unless you could, we did it when we did our investigation on Black Island, Rick. You remember that we had gotten some things that we had been done using sort of a semi-Gansfeld method, but we couldn't verify them with historical facts because of the records on Black Island.
Mhm.
So it's like, can we really put that out there? No, we can't. It's cool. It's cool for us, but there's no verification.
Agreed.
Does that make sense, Mike?
Or
make you feel better?
Back to the crystal.
The pendulum.
The pendulum. I think here's what it is. I figured it out. I was thinking while you guys were talking. I think I figured it out.
He wasn't listening.
It's too easy to fix. I think
That's what
so. Therein lies my problem, right? Like I think about how easy is it to fix something. Like that's how my brain works, and would be the easiest thing to fix. Like I think we could pull a prank, and I could walk. I think we could pull a prank where I use that crystal. I keep calling it that pendulum.
Pendulum.
And
sometimes they are crystals, so you're not wrong.
Yeah, you're not wrong. No, I have a crystal one.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, my bad.
But can I?
Anyways, yeah, that's what I would do. I would, yeah. I don't. You guys just use these words that threw me off. I have no idea what I was talking about. It was a pretty high vocabulary. Rick, what did you think of their words, the verbiage?
I was going to say, Rick, do you want to fill Mike in on what we were what I was just talking to you about when he wasn't listening and he was thinking about what he was going to say to combat that whole the fixes in thing? Do you want to tell him, Rick? Do you want to break the news to him?
Oh my God.
What?
He's all right.
Historical verification.
Yeah, historic verification. If you're not a medium or a psychic, where you you got fireworks going on.
What's going on over at your house? I can't.
No, you get it.
It won't work for me.
Now do this.
Dude, it'll never work. It's my camera. It just doesn't. It's.
Rick.
No,
I hate when we all thought to do that.
I do too. It's distracting. What were you saying, Rick?
Sorry.
You don't know, do you?
I was saying, do your homework, do your research, and my best advice for you to try it out would be to try one out. See what happens when you do it, and ask some questions and see if it works.
Sarah,
I love that.
Because you're the only one who is going to know if you're manipulating it or not.
I wouldn't trust me at all.
You wouldn't necessarily, because there's minor hand movements. So that's why I'm saying you'd still want, if you're not a medium, maybe verify that stuff. But I don't know, Sarah, you're used to using pendulums. So let's ask you, what about, can't you have it? I want to say a banana hammock. It's not that. But the thing that holds bananas, don't they make could you put it on a thing with the board underneath?
Here's banana hammock. Here's the thing is that, so because it's a again, I'm going to go back to energy, right? So because it's an innate object that doesn't have a lot of moving energy, but we do, what we're using when we do a pendulum, and you can use a necklace with a pendant on it. You can use a pin on a needle. A needle and a string. Like people have done pendulums for years and years and years to get answers. So what we are is we're that conduit. We're like the water. So that energy is going to flow through us, right? That's the point. If pendulums don't work for you and you don't get it, then you don't use them. That's, there's so many different tools that you can use. And I'm gonna also go into dowsing rods with this too. It's a good segue into dowsing rods.
I was just
what you see, right? What you see a lot of people using, right? They don't work for me. They don't, and it's one of those things that it's not my first go-to. It's not what I'm gonna pick up. But do they work for some people? And again, that energy is flowing through you, and the rods are going like this, or they're crisscrossing, or however they're going. And if it works for you and you get answers and you get that sense of that you are validating in some sort of way what you're looking for on an investigation through any of these tools, then that's the point of you using them. And so if we're starting off with like the little stuff, pendulums, spirit boards included in that, and then dowsing rods, that's like top tier. That's like step one, right?
Yeah.
So if it works for you, you're going to go for it, and you're going to then validate the historical background or anything. Like if you're in, okay, let's just, if we're at the Lizzie Borden house, right? Is Andrew with us? And all of a sudden your dowsing rods are going like a weather vane, then, you take that as a yes, right? Or you take that as you're on the right track.
They go
Rick.
like weather vanes?
They kind of spin around.
Weather
Yeah.
vanes go like this. Yeah, they do.
They
On some
look
people,
like-
they don't
they
move
look
for
at-
me.
They look like the broken hangers, or they
Yeah.
look like bad antennas from Radio Shack.
Can I ask?
Yeah.
Rick, do you use dowsing rods?
I have before. They don't really work for me.
I don't get it. They
I
don't
was-
look
Here's
I was on a tour in Key West, and one of the things they gave out to everyone was dowsing rods. And the guy was telling a story, murder, and it was a really haunted place. And as he's telling the story, and he at the end of the story, he goes, "Now I want everyone to look at their dowsing rods, because that was the actual place that the person was murdered." And everyone in the group, except for one person, they were all pointing in that direction.
oh, that's
Towards the
weird.
water.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Towards
But-
the
The
water.
water?
Yeah, well, that's what Mike said. No, because I agree with Mike.
Yeah.
Because we're dowsing rods not created to find water. So like I was gonna be like, Rick, to use like Block Island is surrounded by water. What good would it be to use a dowsing rod on Block Island? Wouldn't it be locating water?
Well,
Wouldn't
and
it be
that same topic, right? We are made of what, 70% water? So it's the
true.
same concept, right? Do you know what I mean? Like it's about where that energy is going to flow and move to. We are only one conduit. We're like the plug, you know what I mean? And so these tools are going to work based on how we are feeling and how we're, asking the questions and feeling that it's right or wrong. That's why a dowsing rod, if, I'm lazy, I'll be honest. Like a dowsing rod's not going to work for me the first time. I'm like, I don't want to do it. I'm not going to use it. I'm going to use something that works for me.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
But the person that can pull a dowsing rod's attention away from, what's it called? Oh, the ocean, has a pretty strong energy. You got to say, right? If you can pull
Right,
a
it's true.
dowsing rod away from the ocean, that energy is going to be battery-esque, right? I mean,
Right.
that's what they're made for. Am I wrong? Am I wrong in saying this? First off, why would you give a group of people dowsing rods? That's how that stick fight happened in Vegas.
Well, they're an inexpensive tool that they probably have on tours. Like quite often on tours, you'll see people, they'll give people dowsing rods because they're
I get it,
inexpensive
right.
and people steal them or take from them,
500
Right,
kids
and that's
with it?
true, and that's true. It's inexpensive, and it shows you that even though the answer might not be, oh, this is Andrew Borden and blah blah blah, right? Just to use that example, it's showing you that there's something else going on beyond your control, right? So if you're
Go back
asking
to
it
the-
questions,
Minor hand movements. Like, how do I know I'm not moving it? But you're saying even if I'm moving it with intention that I just don't realize.
right? We're the conduit. We're just flowing through. We're just letting it go.
Can I just say something real quick? Legitpodcast.com, legitpodcast.com. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Right now, if I had to give advice to everyone, it would be to just avoid social media conversations over the next, I'd say, week or so, and then for the rest of the year, because it's already, boy. I was hoping that people were going to play nice this time around. And
What are you talking about?
the presidential
State of the Union.
State of Union address is on right now, and
Oh, yeah.
everybody I
yeah,
thought
no.
on social media that learned their lessons last time, either side, both sides, right? Both sides of the aisle. I thought they learned their lessons on how they treated each other, but they didn't. And
Well, we're
Wait a
so
second.
neutral.
Is there a fly in this one? Remember, there was like a fly, and that fly got more.
Oh, that was a
attention.
debate. Yeah, it landed on Penn
I
State.
know, but wasn't that funny?
Yeah,
That was
brilliant.
funny. We're
So
gonna
why the
stay
more-
neutral, politically neutral this year, as hard as it may be.
oh no,
Because
it's
everyone
the
loves the
easiest.
paranormal.
It's the easiest time
Mhm.
ever to stay
To just
neutral. Are
neutral.
you kidding me?
Mhm.
When have you ever gone, oh my God, really? Like,
Mhm.
this is worse than like the first week of American Idol.
Sometimes that's hilarious, though.
It's a horrible
mean,
comparison.
It's a little
but
more important, but you
Some
know,
people watch American Idol in the beginning just because it's
yeah,
funny.
it's just
it's
whatever.
funny. That's why I like America's Got Talent. You know, that's why I watch it. It's funny. It's funny.
I'm off my.
It's
I'm
funny.
off
The
my
funny
rock.
thing about America's Got Talent, American Idol, is like it gets worse and worse because I think people just like don't tell their kids anymore that they can't do things, that they're just like not good at them. Like, and they get them all built up. You're a great singer, little Johnny. You can do it. Go try it out for. No, Johnny, you can't sing. You can't sing. It's awful.
Don't do it, Johnny. Don't do
Don't
it.
do it.
It
Don't
sounds
do it.
like cats are being murdered.
You're
Just don't do it.
embarrassing the family. You're just embarrassing the family now. That's what
Listen.
it is.
Listen,
We offended Rick. You offended Rick.
listen.
He left. And we have somebody leave on every look. What is
I
going on with this show?
Where'd you go?
I don't know where he went.
Rick's probably
Yes.
in protest. Rick wanted me to do this. Something about we're not raising enough. It's dogs
if you wanna-
without
yeah.
dogs without paws. Please help now. When will we stop this madness? Please help donate for dogs without paws. Now back to Rick.
Now back to
Sorry.
Rick. Rick,
Yes.
are there any other non-technical? So right now we're starting with things that are not technical. So no recorders, none of that stuff. Methods of spirit communication that you would like to talk about.
Non-technical, not really, for me.
No cat balls? Wouldn't cat balls
Oh,
count?
well, that's technical.
Technical because it has a battery.
It has a battery, but it's not really. I mean, it's a cat ball. Let's be honest.
Love
It's
cat
a-
balls.
Love cat balls.
Yeah.
I-
Question and answer.
Mike, can we ask what is so funny? Like, is this
But-
going to be a
because you know what?
regular
You know what?
thing?
You know what's funny? You know what's, I'm realizing this, right? I'm realizing that when I get to Thursday night, I'm just like, I've
That's
talked so
great.
much. I've talked so much that like
Gummy
laugh-
balls. Are those?
I
the
laugh
same
at
thing?
silly things. But Rick just answered, no, not really.
Someone,
That's,
Rick,
that's
can you
what he said.
please?
No, not really.
Well,
I'm
you know,
like, wow, that's a great answer. No, not really.
But
So
when you-
Sarah,
Oh,
so
Yeah.
basic
Came up-
technical, battery and the flashlight.
yes, I
Yeah,
like
the
the flashlight
flashlight.
too.
okay. So Rick, can you explain a little bit about like how you would use the flashlight for people? Because it's 101. They might not know.
What?
Uh,
No.
Mike.
You don't have to tell people how to use a flashlight.
No, Mike. Remember the
No.
guy? Remember the guy who was
Not
talking
your
to his
turn.
father in hospice,
Oh no.
and he was also doing those other experiments with the flashlights.
Oh, not turned on. Ah,
that would
never
turn on
mind.
and off.
I thought we were gonna tell people how to walk around like Scooby Doo with a flashlight for crap's sake.
Yeah, not how to just use a
Ridiculous.
flashlight.
All right.
So basically, you unscrew the where the battery connection is on the flashlight till it's just a millimeter away from connecting.
Mhm.
And then if the spirit wants to answer, it can make that connection and turn that light on. We've had some people on the clip show who have showed us their evidence with with flashlights. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
like that. I do like the flashlight.
I've seen it in person. Yep, seen it in
It's
person. It's
crazy.
awesome.
Yep.
Yep. And
Yeah.
also, I find that it does. you can get a better reaction with a mag light because you can turn, how you can turn that mag light on and off. Some of the other flashlights it's harder, but if you get it right with the mag light, with that little turn, it will light up like nobody's business.
Yeah. And that's my favorite kind of evidence is that, question response.
So it's like yes or no. Mike?
Yeah.
Doesn't that seem like the easiest or least amount of energy spent to respond? Like that seems like that makes sense to me only because you're not asking much of the spirit, as pompous as it is. You just want it to make that little bit of a connection just for a second. And so I always, when I see those videos, especially when they have them and they light up as if like,
can you touch
no
that?
way,
Can you touch
there's
that?
no way. Yeah,
side?
it wasn't. Yeah. That to me is one of my favorite things as far as communication. Final answer. I forgot.
I think we get responses with flashlights sometimes. I don't know what you guys think, but like it's a familiar tool. So if you have a spirit that passed away and you're bringing in sort of like these weird big boxes with, like Mike was saying before, like guitar amps, it's like, it might be intimidating. This is just a flashlight. Like they've been around for a while. And even if they weren't around, it's a non-intimidating looking object, or a cat ball even. And if you tell them, you can just touch this, that they can use. And it doesn't look like some weird big box with lights and beeps and boops and all the sorts of things. But bunny balls, Sarah, we were talking about gluing fur to cat balls because our logo is a rabbit, and making bunny balls.
And what was the other one? Some bunny, Boo Bunny.
Boo Bunny instead of Boo Bear, a Boo Bunny.
Oh, I like Boo Bunny. I don't know about, because sometimes spirit will move the cat balls, and I don't know if they have fur on them, if they'll roll. So you might. They
wouldn't roll. No,
they
you're
wouldn't
right.
roll. They'd be very stationary. So we don't need furry balls.
What a
furry balls won't roll.
Can I just say how silly of an answer comment that was?
I think it makes
bunny
sense.
Bunny balls don't roll.
Maybe that we should make T-shirts that say that.
They hop.
Bunny balls don't
roll.
They hop.
They don't roll.
They get a prong. Ours will go up and what? You watch. Bunny balls are going to take off.
Hashtag
we also
bunny
came
balls.
up with Sarah. What did you say?
Hashtag bunny balls.
Someone's going to steal this idea now, Mike. You realize that?
Oh, good. You know what?
Full of
good
ideas.
luck to them. Enjoy the rest of the life.
Plenty more that came from.
We'd also like to officially state that we are Legit Podcast is taking ownership of Bunny Balls, Boo Bunny, and Para, P-A-R-A, boobs.
No.
Which Rick said that he would make instead of a Boo Bear for pervy old men ghosts. Para boobs.
I don't get it.
Well, okay.
Para boobs.
I don't get it. I don't know what you mean.
Get a pair.
They're called trigger items, Mike.
Pair boob, Rick?
Pair
boob. You know what? Wait. Speaking of trigger items, if we're talking about things that are non-mechanical besides flash, right? Do you recommend bringing toys with you to places? Children's toys? Because I have gone on investigations where there's been children, that are in spirit form. You bring a toy, a doll, a this, a that, and they like it. They'll come and they'll not necessarily touch it, but they appreciate it,
Yeah, I think that, so trigger objects are always awesome to use. So if you have some historical research about the place, there might be children there. You can bring some children's toys. Children also like the cat balls because they can roll them. They light up. You can bring a toy. Oftentimes, I've brought cigarettes, whiskey, cigars.
Music.
Music works.
They love music.
They do love music. And music, Mike, we were kind of talking about this last week. You wanted to maybe elaborate on that, how music can really awaken the consciousness, I think both. And it raises the energy of the living people there because it can be exhausting. and the spirits as well. So,
Mhm.
Mike,
You
if
just said it.
you're
It's perfect. You just said that perfect.
okay, you don't want to add anything?
No, that was good.
Okay,
Say no. Mike, say no.
Say no. I don't think so.
What was it? No, I don't think so. What you said?
Thanks.
No, I don't think so.
Are we missing anything, you guys? Any other
No.
non-technical methods that we want to talk about? We could use. Mike, you said a paper and a pad. What about automatic writing?
Mhm.
All right. So I saw a video of so Chris Angel. Now we all know. Maybe we all know who he is. He was like a goth version of like a magician.
David Copperfield.
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, David Copperfield, David Blaine.
It was David Blaine. Yeah.
Yeah.
David Copperfield.
Yeah, but David Copperfield is like here. Then they're all down here. No offense, but he's David Copperfield. Look at his wife. So anyways, Christopher Magic, whatever his name is.
Hold please for 1 second. Can we hold please for 1 second? Why would we look at his wife? Is she pretty?
Gorgeous.
Okay.
David.
So why, when we're talking about, I need to. I'm sorry. I need to pause.
Mike, what'd you do?
When we're talking
What'd you
about
do?
the legitimacy of a man, do men say he must be good? Look at his wife, as if his wife has any attractiveness, has anything to do with him.
When it comes to a magician, yes, it does. Because, wow, he's a great magician. What a trick he pulled off. Because his wife's beautiful.
Billy Joel marrying Christy Brinkley.
He was married to, what's the Claudia?
Claudia Schiffer.
Yes. That's a
Maybe
great
he's
magic
hung
hack.
like a horse. You don't know.
Either way, whatever you call
Maybe
magic, that's
he
what I
has
call it.
bunny balls.
Maybe he has a lot of money.
Maybe he's got bunny balls.
All right.
He could have bunny balls.
I call it magic. He's a great magician. And Billy Joel's a great singer.
Billy Joel's amazing. Yeah, but like I just find the whole look at his wife thing sexist. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's funny when it was a throwaway joke and you took offense to it and everybody just went right by it. But you're like, hold the phones, as if they would say back in the day.
Well, it has been like, as you were saying, it's Thursday, it's a long week. I had to put up with the whole Sarah, I don't know if you saw Roulette last night, but we were talking about why are there so many female ghosts. Did you see that? And Mike actually dropped everyone out, paused the show. The question was, why are there so many female ghosts in ghost stories? He paused the show, apologized to the women in his life, which tells you if you have to do that, you should just not say what you're going to say next. And he said it's because women just won't go away.
Okay.
It is true. A man
It's
ghost would be like, I'm out of here. A woman ghost would be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna stick around. Oh yeah.
I don't know if that's true. About
you guys are
whether or
mental
not
ninjas. You're mental ninjas compared to us. We're like apes with clubs, and you're mental ninjas. Women and men that don't start. This isn't the dating show, but you guys are wrong. You get inside.
I don't know. There's a lot of ghost stories with men, though. With like,
it's just,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, the killers. They're always killers, though. They're always killers, and the women are always like, "Oh, she fell. Oh, she fell down a flight of stairs."
There's so many stories about women that there's something beeping, and it's freaking me out. There's a lot of stories about women, especially in the Victorian era. Something happened to the man. He left her at the altar, or he died. There was a duel. I don't know. And he's gone, and she offs herself, and now she's walking around. And the woman in black, the woman in blue, the woman in white. Those, those. Like, why are there so many of those?
Yep.
It has more to do with the effects of
soldiers,
storytelling.
The guy with the hat. There's a
Yeah,
lot
it's a
of
trope.
gentlemen.
It's a trope. It has more to do with the aspects of storytelling than anything
It
else.
had to do with the fact that we wrote the books.
Yes. So,
Well,
but my point is, yeah. Go ahead, Sarah.
But these ghosts still exist.
No, it's okay.
So why do they stick around? You know why? I already told you.
Because they won't go away.
Mike, so back to David Copperfield.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, thank you, Rick.
No, Chris Angel, I mean. Chris Angel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He got mad because this guy started free writing.
Automatic writing.
Okay then. And he's automatic writing, and he scribbled a bunch of stuff, and then Chris Angel was pretty much like,
"You're a joke." I watched that clip today.
You're a joke. This is the other. He's like, I got an envelope in my pocket. He said, "Tell me what's in the envelope. I'll give you $1 million." And the guy like went off on Chris Angel. Like, you hack. They just started yelling at each other and had to be separated. It was like, but this happened a couple of years ago. But it was
I'm gonna have to look that up.
That's a moment
that he was a guest on, right?
No, he was host. He was one of the judges.
Yeah,
Even another magician.
Yeah,
it was like
they would have people on, and he would just break down their tricks.
Yeah, but
that's not nice.
But this guy was pretending to be more of a medium. This is what got Chris Angel like pissed. Like, he was
doing automatic writing.
And he
yeah,
was and he was automatic writing, and it just was like Chris Angel he looked like he was coming off a bender, and he just looked like he was in a bad, foul mood to begin with. But because he just drifts into this kid, but the guy took a, oh golly gee, it was like a guy in khakis getting angry. It was like, oh, you hack, you. It was just weird, awkward. They were both awkward gentlemen.
Yeah, and it went from 1 to 100 real quick.
Yeah. Can one of you gentlemen please secure that clip for Paranormal Clips Show next week so we can do it, please? Thank you.
Consider it secured.
Okay, so that was what you had to say about automatic writing, Mike?
Yeah. Chris Angel pretty much was saying that it was bullshit.
Well, he said that. He said that.
No. He was getting into it.
I don't know.
Go back. All right.
I'll watch the clip, but I'm saying, okay. Rick, have you seen anyone do automatic writing, or have you done it yourself?
No.
I'm not saying I don't believe in it. I'm just telling you what Chris Angel said.
Well, I'm going to research it this week for clips for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sarah, have you?
Yes. I really like doing it.
What, Mike?
So you don't.
Sarah G, have you ever used backwards recordings?
No, can we do automatic writing first, and then we will get to backwards recordings? Let's just do
automatic at a time here.
Let's explain automatic writing.
All right.
And then we're going to get to that. Yeah.
So automatic writing, as you know, I'm sure that gentleman on that show did do, is that you tap into a lower level of consciousness, and you literally just let your hand work without thinking, right? And sometimes you draw pictures, objects, you'll write in different languages. It's really cool, depending on how you do it. But really, you pretty much, in essence, you just check out and you let your hand do whatever you need to do. And when you are doing this in investigations, you can ask that the spirit write certain things through you, because obviously they can't do it, right, on their own. So you ask that they do that, or they show you certain things. It's not a perfect science where you'll be able to say, well, that's a bird. You might not understand it, but if they write bird, or something of that nature that you can see that, then you may understand it. That's what automatic writing is. You can do it for a lot of different reasons, but when you are investigating, you can ask that they show you through that, because you just kind of check out mentally and just sort of like doodling, right? You just check out and you just let that utensil, that implement right as best you can. I think it's awesome.
I do too. Yeah.
I
think it's an awesome method, and I don't even consider myself a medium, and I've had success with automatic writing. And I was talking to Mandy the other day about it, and Mandy the machine, and she said that she goes in. She got away from the practice, but she's going to start doing it again. And I thought it was great to go in the beginning, sit somewhere quietly wherever she feels drawn to, sit down, do some automatic writing, in the hopes of maybe whatever you get, then you can then verify or use throughout the investigation. Because like Sarah said, a lot of it might not make sense. What I do is I start drawing and I listen to white noise. I get quiet. I even put a blindfold on. My hand's on the paper, but I can't see. And I'll start drawing in a circle to sort of get myself into that space. And then, yeah, you kind of don't even know you're doing it. Words will come out or pictures, but it usually looks like gibberish. But if you then take that throughout the investigation, you might then get that word again on a spirit box, or you might see, like, I don't know what this weird drawing is. And then you're like, oh, wait, it looks just like that tree on that painting over there. It's a very interesting tool. Rick looks like he's listening. Mike looks like he has something smart to say.
I don't know what to think about it, to be honest with you. Because think about
we should try it.
Yeah.
How different is it from using the Gansfeld, though, Rick? When you think about it, how different is it from using an ST session? It's just
but you're
cutting out.
You're watching in the Gansfeld and listening. When with this automatic writing, you're asking the spirit to manipulate you to actually write something. Sounds like a lot.
I don't think they're actually possessing you, if that makes sense.
No.
But it feels more like they're showing it to you, or they're putting it in your head and your hand is writing it.
Sure.
You just get into that sort of they're not like coming into your body.
You. It is that they're using you to show that, you know, there's a tree, there's a bird, there's the ocean, there's a boat. You know what I mean? And Sarah's right. You look up and then there's a picture of a boat right there. And it just kind of validates that. So he's drawing pictures. Okay.
You know what that is?
It's a house
with
sunshine.
No, it's not.
It looks like a pencil.
What?
Oh, I know what that is. Don't do that. That's not nice. Don't do that.
It's my dad bending over in the shower to pick up the soap.
It never fails. Thank you. Thank you for the comedic interlude there, Mike.
Oh God! I haven't gotten to do that since like 5th grade. Like it's been so long since I drew
You're
that.
so excited. I put my foot up.
You know what's
so happy. I put my.
You guys just started talking like free thinking, doodling, and I'm thinking doodling. I could have either done that or Woody Woodpecker, and I like that one. That one's a little more difficult.
So is automatic writing your writing down what you are sort of getting in your head?
Yes.
All right.
So you're not cognizant of it, right? So it's like you're not even paying attention and you're just kind of letting that pen or that crayon or whatever it is, marker, just write. And you're not paying any attention to what's going on. And then you interpret what you've written and what is on the paper. And then you can kind of see, okay, well, there's the letter M. Okay. And then you hear Michael, right? And then you're like, oh, I wrote the letter M. So this is it's not an S. It's not a T. It's an M, right? So there's some sort of validation there.
So I had an interesting experience, Rick, with it. Like I did that when I went to Waverly Hills. I went into the morgue, and I put on the blindfold. I put on like white noise, and that's like not necessary. It's just I need that to get me there. And then I just start drawing a circle, and I can't see because I'm blindfold, the paper in front of me. I'm drawing a circle. When I took it off, like I'll put the timer on the white noise machine, so I'm only doing that for like 15 minutes. When I took it off, I had written the words like I had written cold, and play and up. No cold play. And it didn't make any sense for the whole investigation until they're like, I don't know if we want to go onto the roof. It's too cold. It's too cold to go up there right now. It's freezing. And I was like, cold up. Maybe we should go up on the roof. We went up the roof, and like it was really active out there. The kids wanted to play. Like they wanted us to go up to the roof and play and forget whatever we were doing down in the morgue. It's not where they wanted to be. But like it didn't make sense till the very it was a really cool moment for me, you know?
No, it sounds it. Absolutely.
So that's where
we should try that when we do. Let's put a pin in that.
For Black Island Halloween.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
And we all can kind of just check out, get a piece of paper and see what happens and then compare notes after.
So I had a friend who was a singer in a band, and I read a review of his latest CD, and he had told the reporter that he had written the lyrics in his dreams. He would wake up from sleeping and write the lyrics down on a pad and then go back to sleep. Now, I brought this paper to him, and I said to him, I don't believe this. I'm like, how can you wake up, write something down, and then go back to sleep? Like I can't do it. Can't do it. And he said, no, that's true. Now, this person's name is David Lysick. So, Rick, I'm going to ask you, how truthful is that? And was I wrong for calling him bullshit on that? Because I couldn't get my head around the fact that you're writing lyrics while you sleep, wake up, write them down, go back to sleep. Like that just seems like, how do you keep your thoughts even together?
Well, A, I don't think David would lie about something like that.
So
B, if he can sleep. If you know my brother, he can sleep.
Oh, gotta know that.
Waking up and sleep. And then didn't Paul McCartney say that he Lucy in the Sky of Diamonds was that type of deal?
I mean,
no. John Lennon claimed this is the claim. It's about LSD. But John Lennon claimed that his son drew a picture and he asked
Julian.
his son what it was,
and
it was Lucy in the Sky.
Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
Yeah, well, one of the Paul
I
McCartney
believe more than
songs,
LSD.
He said the lyrics came to him in his sleep, and he woke up and wrote them down.
You know,
Scrambled eggs. Yesterday.
I
Yesterday, he wrote as scrambled eggs, and he woke up in the morning and he started writing scrambled eggs, and then he turned it into yesterday.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's such a beautiful song.
What the
Scrambled eggs. I wish he had kept it the original.
Scrambled eggs. Scrambled eggs.
But that's the melody. That's different though. That's coming up with the melody, right?
How is it different?
No, totally different.
He wrote it.
A melody is something that like you can get like that in a dream. Like lyrics are different. The lyrics are a set of words that he's then going to put into a song that makes sense. Like I can't write random lyrics because I wouldn't know where to put them. Is what I'm saying. A melody, the scramble, like that melody, even though the words aren't correct because the words are the lyrics. As long as the melody, I believe. See, I have an easier time with that than I do with lyrics. That's my thing. It's lyrics.
You haven't ever like had a dream that was you're like woke up and you're like, man, I should write that down. That should be a story or a poem.
Dreams. I've had movies, but not lyrics. Like lyrics to a song, like they go somewhere. It's different.
Well, I mean,
it's a different way of storytelling.
Lyrics could also be like a poem, right? So that's kind of what it is. It's a poem to music. So
I think
sometimes you wake up and you're like, oh my God, that's so beautiful. I should write that down. And it becomes a lyric of something. If you write songs.
Yeah, my point is, Mike, is like, don't you agree that like creativity somehow sometimes just feels like divinely given? Like so in our dreams, our spirit guides and spirits speak to us, and it seems like sometimes these creations are divinely given. So if they can be given to us during our waking moments.
So here's my thing. How do I do this? They don't give you details. Like it's not like lyrics are the details of the song. They're specifically put in order. And the thing is, like, Dave always had great lyrics. So either way, I like them. But the idea that you can write them in your sleep, is different, guys. Different, just learn that and coming out with a melody, because it's literally getting information that tells a story in a order that is just unusual to write, to create. It's really hard to piece together a song of different poetry.
Have you ever lucid dreamt?
Yeah, I believe I have.
So,
But that's not waking up and going back to sleep. That's like, that's actually like I'm talking about waking up, write something down, and going back to sleep. My problem is I always think
I would never get up, write anything down. I would never get up to write.
from how my brain
I
works.
get up to pee.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it.
I don't even want to
Okay.
do that.
The kids have to hide their food, like if they have like leftovers, in drawers, because when I wake up and I stumble out in the hallway, I end up I'll
You
be
get
in
the
the fridge,
munchies?
I don't even know I'm doing it. I'll eat something and go back to bed, and then I get yelled at the next day because they always know it's me.
Wait, my leftovers.
Yeah, that's what I do. But no, what I'm saying is I believed him, but I wanted to call him bullshit because I don't know how I physically could ever do that. And I took writing lyrics serious, and it was just something like I would write the worst, dude. If I ever woke up and just wrote shit down and went back to sleep, it would be like dog, warm, more room. Like, you know what I mean? Like just what I'm feeling at the moment, nonsense. Like I wish that because like, I remember stuff and then I wake up sometimes and I'm like, oh, what the fuck was that dream? God damn it. There's like a time limit on some dreams. Like you only get to remember it for like maybe a half hour and then you don't remember the dream anymore.
There's a time limit on everything. I literally had the best manuscript in my head the other night before I went to sleep. When I was how do I
talking to
say
your
this?
dog. Talking to your dog.
I was telling it to my dog. My dog knows the story.
That's all you have to say. You don't have to say about anything else. You were talking to your dog about it. That's all you actually have to say, and we all know.
And I was worried she was judging me too.
She was.
So she was. She looked really disappointed in me, actually.
She was probably really disappointed. She was just more like, why are you telling me this story that you're not going to remember? Because I'm not going to remember it either, because I'm a dog.
And I was like, oh my God, it's so good. Woke up the next day. I was like, damn it.
Yeah.
I can't remember, but bits and parts of that. But I had all of time figured out how time works. Did all of it.
Oh, by the
It's
way,
gone.
I drew how time works.
You
Kind of
did.
like I drew the soap thing the other night.
Speaking of dog, look at.
That's JD. Yeah, I had the other one was just visiting over here.
Aww.
Yeah, mine was too. She was like,
I think-
going like this, like, Mommy, it's bedtime. Come on.
I know Spirit's on the other side of the door. I can hear her whimpering. We are going to wrap up. It's time to wrap up, but I was stretching it because, like, I think we did a really good job covering, like, our
You
more
still got
like
2 minutes and 10 seconds. Yeah.
we're getting there, Mike.
No, I know.
Starting the process. Thank you. Are you jumping in because I was helping you with time?
It's deja vu, yeah.
Oh,
That's not deja vu.
Oh, it's Vuja Day.
It's called revenge.
Vuja Day.
Okay.
The time it's when something.
I don't think
happens
that's
and
not a
it
real
never
thing.
happened before.
Sarah,
So
have
we're
you
gonna
ever heard of
continue this
Vuja Day?
conversation?
When something happens and
No,
you know
that's
it
not
never
how
happened
you'd say
before.
it.
It's called
No.
Vuja Day.
Deja vu.
No, and JK47, you made a good comment about something that happened, but like with ITC, which is using the technology, I kind of want to save that for next week. So I figure this
We'll
was
talk
like
tech.
good. Yeah, the tech. So next week we'll talk about spirit boxes, doing EVPs, even using, like, instead of flashlights, now they have like REM pods. So we will talk about those things next week on Paranormal 101. What are you pointing at, Mike?
Nothing.
What are you pointing at?
Doesn't
You
matter.
just went, or
It doesn't matter.
Oh, the box. Paranormal 101. Right?
No, I still no. Something in my house that I went like this, but it doesn't matter.
somebody came down the stairs, probably.
I don't know what it. Yeah, it was somebody walking past me or something. I don't know.
And you're like, hey, hey,
Yeah,
hey,
there's no,
hey, I had to take a phone call during the last show. So,
no more
you know.
information that I don't. I just I hear the footsteps and
Holly came home
It didn't
during
do
that,
it.
and the dogs didn't go berserk, which is
That's
the only time
crazy.
that has happened. In
Hi,
I knew somebody.
Holly.
yeah, she's
How,
gone. She actually left again, and the dogs didn't go berserk. So I
how
don't
come
know.
it only works
Oh,
for
wow.
Sarah, though? How come only Sarah?
Everyone-
Because she's a magic witch. That's why.
No, I think your head has to be in a certain place. It worked for Sin when Sin did it. I don't know.
Mike's like, I'm not doing this ridiculous. You all are crazy.
I just I don't.
Sarah
Is
G,
it-
is there anything you want to promote? Is that a thing? Or you just we could do anything
I
and
just-
then everyone will
yeah,
do it. You could
I'm just
literally be
trying to-
like,
No.
I'm just trying to figure out what the others. Tuesdays, unfortunately, I double booked myself for this past Tuesday, so I could not be on. But next Tuesday, I have a great guest. Tuesday at 8:05, you can hang out with Sarah G, the legit witch MD, and that's what I have going on.
highly recommend. Block Island Rick.
I still just we're getting ready to start getting in gear for this summer with the ghost tours and all that. So come out to the island and hang out. Sarah Parah, maybe for next week. I don't know if it's possible, but remember Sin's friend who made all the ghost gear?
No.
She had a wait. She one of Sin's friends just builds gear, and she seemed like she must have built a 1,000.
Oh, yes. Yes. Yeah.
Maybe get her,
Yeah.
maybe we can ask her to hop on for this.
Oh, yeah. Are we going to build gear? Are we going to build a boo bunny?
Boo boobies.
Boo boobies?
Boo boobies.
That's all I got.
Endless. Keep an eye out for ticket sales. Everyone here will be doing the Block Island Halloween event. It's going to be fun.
It's gonna be a blast.
Maybe there'll be boo boobies. You know what? Forget I
It
said
definitely will be boo boobies.
that. Boo boobies. King Michael.
I think it's childish to use such language.
Thanks. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Tomorrow is Friday, so what is it? Legit Darkness Descends with JK47 is on at 10 p.m. Eastern, and we are airing at 8:05 p.m. a new episode of the Legit Vault, where we release one of our most classic episodes. King Miguel has been doing this for like 3 years now. There's some people who've become very big names in the paranormal, so keep an eye out for a new release of the Legit Vault every Friday at 8:05 p.m. So let's finish this up. So thank you, everyone. This was a great show. So for Sarah G, the legit witch MD, Block Island Rick, King Michael, I'm Sarah Paranormal. Have a good night, everyone, and have a good weekend.